JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Schedule C filers do not file for PPP loan forgiveness for the PPP that you got in 2021 if you received PPP based on your net income, line 31 of Schedule C. Why? Well, I don't want to give you false hope at all, but you probably are aware that starting mid-March, those that were filing for PPP based on Schedule C, self-employed, were able to get PPP based on the gross income, line 7 of Schedule C, which would result in more PPP as compared to getting it based on the net, line 31. Now, we do know with PPP, the maximum that you're able to get is $20,833 for a self-employed individual that has no employees. So it's possible that your net income was above $100,000 and you already got the max. So this would be for those that did not get $20,833 in 2021 from PPP. So if you got less than that because it was based on your net, line 31, maybe, this is like Hail Mary, maybe there could be an opportunity. I have no basis this, but hang on. There could be a possibility that for you may be able to apply. Now, you're going to have to listen to the entire video here because I'm not trying to give you false hope, but let's look at history in two ways. One, for the self-employed, if you file for forgiveness, you were locked out of reapplying based on Schedule C for PPP. So if you file for forgiveness on your PPP that you got in 2021, you would be locked out based on history from ever reapplying for PPP. Again, I'm saying it for the third time. There is no basis for me to tell you that there's more PPP to come. However, history will tell us, related to this specific stimulus, that at the end of year 2020, money was gathered up from all of the stimulus programs in terms of what was left over, and it was a set aside. And in essence, that was used in part to fund, if you will, the stimulus that was signed into law December 27th of 2020. So why am I telling you that? I'm not talking about any leftover PPP money because there isn't any, as we are understanding, but there's a lot of other stimulus programs out there. Now, the Restaurant Restoration Fund grant, it's run out of money. We've got the SVO that's run out of money. We've got lots of other things. They've run out of money. So it is a slim, slim chance that there will be an opportunity for you to reapply for PPP. Let me be clear. There's no way you can reapply for PPP now that we're in July of 2021. But you don't have to file for forgiveness for your PPP until the date of disbursement plus 24 weeks plus 10 months, which is next year. So the date that you got your PPP in 2021 plus 24 weeks plus 10 months is putting you easily into next year before you need to file for forgiveness for the PPP that you got in 2021. That's a long time between now and then. Now, history has shown us, related to PPP, they've extended it, they've put more money into it, and then they created PPP 2.0. We also know historically they've made it more available to those Schedule C filers once we got into mid-March through the end of the application date on May 31st based on the gross. And that's what I don't want you to be left out on. So it's simple. Just wait to file your loan forgiveness. And it's a big crossing our fingers that if you got PPP in 2021 based on the net, that you would be able to reapply to get PPP based on your gross income line 7. The only way that would happen is if they put more money in the PPP program. But you know what? They've done it now a number of times. They passed PPP in March 27th of 2020, and money ran out within a few weeks. Then they passed to put more money into PPP. And then they extended PPP, and then they extended the time frame to use PPP. And then they came out with, on December 27th, a completely new round of PPP. So is it possible that you could get more PPP? But don't put yourself in a position where you're on the outside looking in because you filed for forgiveness. Because again, historically, we have learned that as soon as you file for forgiveness, you're locked out of any new programs. So don't file for forgiveness yet if you got PPP in 2021, to give yourself that possibility, if it comes about, that you could then potentially get more PPP based on the gross. Hopefully I've said it now at least 5 or 6 times. You should have zero hope that there's going to be more PPP. But what I don't want you to do is be cynical, go ahead and file for it, and then they come out with a program with more PPP or a program to help the Schedule C filer, but you're not able to participate in it because you filed for forgiveness. So let's be clear. If you got PPP in 2020, file for forgiveness. If you got PPP in 2021, based on your net income on Schedule C, which is line 31, you have from the data disbursement in 2021 plus 24 weeks plus 10 months before you need to file for forgiveness. So wait it out just in case. Now they've come out with other programs, but for those that filed for PPP forgiveness historically, they weren't able to participate, or weren't able to participate fully, or weren't able to participate as quickly as those that had not filed for forgiveness. So hopefully this is something that you can put in your back pocket, and maybe it'll come about. But the key here is to give yourself every option to be able to get additional stimulus if you need it. And filing for forgiveness on PPP that you got in 2021, historically, we've learned that takes you out of future stimulus related to PPP. All right, hey, listen, I'm a CPA. I'm working with clients every day in the trenches, been doing this 28 years. So when I look at the momentum and I look at the history of things, that is where I'm coming from. So from my perspective, as I'm advising clients and talking to clients about these things, then those are really the basis of what I'm putting together in these videos for you. If you've gotten to here and I've given you some value, I've helped you out, and you're not a subscriber, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Here's the deal. Give yourself every option, especially if you need it. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe, and then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Have a great one.